It is a warm and windy evening at the corner of 20th and Blake as we get set for baseball. The Rockies getting set to tangle with the Los Angeles Dodgers in the first game of a two-game series. If you're just joining us, welcome to Coors Field as the Rockies try and pick up a win here and pick up a couple of wins for that up on a road trip to play 4 against Pittsburgh and 4 against the Mets. Tom Helmer, Tracy Ringlesby, and George Fraser with you. The Rockies going up against a lefty tonight in Clayton Kershaw. And actually, if you look at their numbers from 2010, George, it's interesting because they were 5th in the majors and averaged at 269 and 3rd in runs scored. It seemed like all we ever really talked about are guys that struggled against left-handers.
Yeah, no question about it, and that's what happens with the Rockies going, and now you're going against Kershaw tonight, a pretty good lefty, a pretty good young lefty that won some games last year, figured out how to win. You mentioned earlier the fastest to 500 strikeouts, 4 hits against us in his last start, and that was a good start, 4 hits in 7 innings. Grew up a lot. Now all of a sudden he's mixing in a hard slider, not only just the curveball. So he added a weapon over the wintertime, according to Rick Honeycutt, and it's worked effectively in the first outing.
Well, Honeycutt said the biggest thing he's done is he's improved his command. Said he's had the pitches, he's had the arm strength, he's been durable, but what he's done now is he's improved his command to the point that he can cut back 5 or 6 pitches over 6 or 7 innings. He can get into that 7th, 8th, and 9th inning a little bit easier because he hasn't worn himself out.
Well, right now, let's bring in the two guys who will be calling tonight's action, Drew Goodman and Jeff Houston. Guys?
All right, Tom, thanks very much. Yoli Chassin will take the baseball for the Rockies tonight. And last year, he beat Dodgers 3 times. This is a young guy in 21 starts, had 11 victories. 3 came against LA. We'll talk more about Chassin when we come back. Chassin, Chris Iannetta will handle him behind the plate this evening. We're a few minutes away from first pitch. Welcome back upstairs on Root Sports with Jeff Houston. I'm Drew Goodman. Before we talk more about Yoli Chassin, let's set the rotation over the next few days. And there's an important bullpen perhaps tomorrow for Chief.
Yeah, Ubaldo Jimenez is going to go out there, hopefully, and throw a bullpen because of the way everything happened because of the snow the other day. It was allow him to possibly pitch on Friday at Pittsburgh. That could also be flip-flopped, though, with Jorge. Maybe give Ubaldo an extra day on the backside, maybe pitch on Saturday. But tomorrow is going to be that day. He's been soaking that thumb. Hopefully it feels right, but if it doesn't, then they'll go to plan B, and we won't quite know what that is. But today is going to be the youngster. And George talked about Clayton Kershaw just a moment ago, talking about him, how he really grew up. Well, I think this young man really grew up in the second half last year. You look what he had prior to the All-Star break, an ERA over 4. Coming back after the All-Star break is around 2.2, and I look at him and the way he had to pitch a lot of important ball games down the stretch. He really grew up in my mind, and I just like the way he has that bulldog mentality.
He was even better the final 7 weeks when the season was on the line. To your point, he had a 2.14 ERA. The league overall hit around 227 against him. He has great stuff. Not a lot of runs in all likelihood will be scored in this ball game if both pitchers are on their mark. It is Kershaw, it is Chacin, it is the Rockies and Dodgers. Come on back to 20th and Blake with us. Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By the Ford Super Duty, built stronger, tougher, better, built Ford tough. Ford Super Duty, drive what? By the fast, reliable, secure, heavy-duty internet from Quest. By Sonic, America's drive-in. It's new, it's better, it's the new Sonic good. And by Southwest Airlines, new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. Beautiful evening for baseball. It was 84 on Saturday. Snow moved in Sunday, and it's back to spring-like here in the Rocky Mountain region. And it can still do plenty of good skiing up in the high country. Let's take a look at the Southwest batting order for Don Mattingly's Dodgers. Get used to that. Joe Torre now working for Major League Baseball after a 3-year run. For Kahlo lead off. Tony Gwynn Jr. will bat next. Then Ethier and Kemp. And both of those guys are off to fine starts. James Loney will bat 5th. Juan Uribe down from the Giants, the former Rocky. Rod Barajas will bat 7th and catch. Another former Rocky, Jamie Carroll, will be at second base. And Clayton Kershaw pitching and batting 9th. And there's a good look at the 23-year-old Yolis Chacin from Venezuela.
I like the strikeouts to walk ratio, 61 to 138. That's one thing he was a strikeout machine last year. And it's all predicated on that fastball, being able to command that, to be able to get to his slider and his changeup. Last year in 6 starts against the Dodgers, 3-3, 2.87 ERA, 16 walks, 34 strikeouts, and 37 2/3 innings.
Now let's take a look at the gloves for the Rockies. It'll be Carlos Gonzalez naturally in left field, Dexter Fowler in center, Ryan Spilborgh's getting the start against the lefty. He's in right field. Wigginton, Tulowitzki left side, Lopez and Helton on the right side, and Chris Iannetta behind the plate. So the only left-hand bat is Todd Helton, with Dexter Fowler a switch hitter. Let's take a look at the new Dodger coaching staff. Not only was there a change up top with Don Mattingly, one of the all-time New York Yankees, taking over. Trey Hillman, who lost his job as a Kansas City Royals manager, is his bench coach. Rick Honeycutt remains as a pitching coach. Jeff Pentland was there last year. Tim Wallach, a longtime Dodger. Davey Lopes comes from Philadelphia. You know Davey well. That's a huge, huge appointment for the Dodgers. They believe that's going to help their running game quite a bit. First pitch of the ball game for Kyle, misses ball 1. And a ground ball to second. Is that Dave Hansen down there at first base?
A special assistant. Yes, it is.
Yeah, evidently we've just been told that Davey Lopes, because of some personal issues, is not with the club tonight. But they do believe, as I said, that Davey's going to have a huge impact on the running game in particular for Don Mattingly. 1 out after 2 pitches, and that'll bring up Tony Gwynn Jr.
That was a nice first start for Yolis to be able to get Rafael Furcal out early.
Swung on and missed at 90 miles an hour. Gwynn has always been a good glove, and it's unfair to compare anybody to Tony Gwynn Sr., but he's doesn't have the bat that Dad possessed.
Well, it's pretty tough to follow in his footsteps, but at the same time, I think people thought that he would be at least a 275, 280 hitter at the big league level.
Here's the 1-1, and that's down 2-1.
He's changed his batting stance a little bit over the years, too. Remember that last year he was really kind of squatting in a squatting position. Now he's more upright, open that front foot just a little bit, trying to get better balance.
And this is pulled foul. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Gwynn with Ethier on deck.
This is what I'm talking about in his stance, and that front foot just goes right back towards the pitcher. Before it was more of a squat, and then when he would go to swing from that, he would have to stand back up to get out of it and make the swing.
And this ball is lifted to left field. Gonzalez a long run, and he gets there. It's awfully nice, especially in cavernous Coors Field, to have 2 center fielders. And that's what the Rockies have.
Well, that's part of the reason why Jim Tracy said, you know what, Carlos Gonzalez is my everyday left fielder. We play 81 games here at Coors Field. I need somebody with a lot of range. We saw him make the diving catch against Arizona, and then that play, he made it look easy, and it was not an easy play.
There's nothing he does on the baseball field that doesn't look easy, right?
True.
To him.
To him.
Yeah. A mighty struggle for most others. Here's Ethier with 2 outs and nobody on. And Chacin pours it over the outside corner for a strike. Ethier's had success against Yolis. He's 5 for 10 in his career. He's one of the top left-handed hitters in the National League. And he's got a base hit up the middle. He can just flat hit. Well, the catch that Cargo just made was very nice. The catch he made on Saturday was extraordinary.
It was almost Superman-esque. I like it. He just popped right up and made the throw back in because there was a runner at first.
Now, Matt Kemp is at the plate, an all-star in 2009. He had a gorgeous year and somewhat of a disappointment last year in a couple of areas, but he's off to a fast start this year. And he pulls this one to third. That's a great play by Wigginton, showing a little range. And that is all for the Dodgers in the first. It is a 10-pitch first inning. Nice start for Chacin. We'll see the Rockies on offense when we come back to Coors on a Tuesday night. His way to the plate. He's been getting on a base at a regular clip through the first 2 ball games. Rockies at 1-1, and here's their Southwest starting lineup as written out by Jim Tracy earlier this afternoon. Ryan Spilborghs will follow Dexter. Then Cargo, of course, in the 3-hole. Tulowitzki naturally batting cleanup. Jose Lopez will bat 5th. He's familiar with that spot from his years in Seattle. Todd Helton 6th. Wigginton, Iannetta, and then the pitcher Chacin. Clayton Kershaw misses ball 1. What a gem he threw in outdueling Tim Lincecum opening day at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, 7 innings in that ball game, only 4 hits, and he's just been a Rockies killer in his career.
And he misses 2-0.
Well, the numbers for Clayton Kershaw, 13-10, but that could easily been an 18-19 win season if he got a few more run support. 214 batting average since 2009. Opponents only hitting 207 off him.
And he'll throw that fastball anywhere from 92 to 95 miles an hour. And in talking to some of the Rockies hitters, not only is that an upper echelon fastball, but he hides it pretty well.
Just watch where he drops that right hand right behind his left leg before he gets ready to deliver the ball to the plate. And that's why you can't pick it up as a hitter.
The guy who's had the most success against him at the plate. Dexter's hitting .368 against him lifetime. And it's gloved by Jamie Carroll. Almost got it over his head. 1 out. Now opening day in front of a packed house at Dodger Stadium, more than 50,000. There are the numbers that Jeff was talking about. Just 4 hits. He only walked 1. He punched out 9.
Threw 96 pitches in that ball game. 98, 65 for strikes.
Yeah, for all the talk about him adding a slider recently, and he has that big overhand curveball, he throws his fastball 76% of the time.
That's shocking at this level for a starter. You could see it as a reliever, but not as a starter.
That's in there. Strike 1 on Spilborghs. Spilly's a lifetime .222 hitter against Kershaw, but he does own a couple of home runs. And that is in an impossible place to hit at 94. On the outside corner, right at the knees. Good pitch by Kershaw.
And that's the one thing he's really improved on, the ability to hit the corners both inside and out, not just lay one right down the middle.
Spilborgh's waste that to stay alive. Kershaw just turned 23 a few weeks ago, so both pitchers in this game 23 and immensely talented. Of course, Kershaw hit the big leagues at 20. And he goes upstairs, changed the eye level, and he has his first strikeout of the ball game. Here's LA with gloves. In the outfield, they'll have Tony Gwynn Jr. in left field. And of course, Tony Gwynn has played a lot of center field in his career. Matt Kemp is in center field. I'll just tell you who where the names are. Andre Ethier in right, Uribe for Carl, Carroll and Loney left to right in the infield, with the veteran Rod Barajas behind the plate. Rod's always been known more for his bat.
I'm just glad A.J. Ellis isn't playing.
He kills the Rockies. That's down and into Cargo. Gonzalez off to a fast start, hitting .444 through the first couple of games. He had 3 hits in the opener on Friday. He has 7 hits over the last 2 opening days. He was on that fastball.
I don't see very many left-handers take that good of swing against Clayton Kershaw.
Last year, left on left, Gonzalez hit .320, which was one of the best marks in baseball. Left on left in the National League, there was only one hitter who had a higher average, and that was a fellow by the name of Adrian Gonzalez, who last time I checked is pretty good. The other thing that's interesting is Gonzalez last year, of his 34 home runs, 14 came against lefties. That was the best mark left on left in the National League.
Well, it just shows you that he's not afraid of left-handed pitching. He'll keep that right shoulder in. He's seen him and enjoys hitting off him.
This is lifted foul. 2-2.
Now we'll see right now if we get the first curveball or slider from Clayton Kershaw. Of the 14 pitches he's thrown so far, every single one's been a fastball.
Fastball and a rocket to Uribe. You can't hit it any harder than that. Uribe in the right spot. We'll go to the second. Weekend at home, they took 3 of 4 from the defending world champion San Francisco Giants. The Rockies, because of that snow out on Sunday, have played the fewest games in the big leagues. They're 1-1. It'll be James Loney leading off against Chacin here in the hi there in the second inning. And that pitch just a little bit beneath the knees. Ball 1. Rob Drake's behind home plate. Gary Darling, Bruce Dreckman, and Paul Emmel on the base paths. And he went changeup, 2-0. Chacin was really upset Sunday. He was so looking forward to it, as you might expect. throwing the baseball on Sunday, he's had to wait an extra 48 hours. And that's down low on Loney, 3-0.
Well, you get geared up to pitch in a particular game. It's his first game of the season. He's amped up and ready to go, and then the snow comes.
James Loney, very steady. You pretty much know what you're going to get from Loney.
Double digits in home runs, a lot of doubles, RBIs.
And he throws out a base hit to center field, leading off the inning. Well, let's check in with Alana Rizzo with this afternoon's Fast Cash sideline report.
All right, guys, thanks very much. I talked to head athletic trainer Keith Duggar for an update on Ubaldo Jimenez and Jorge De La Rosa. The cuticle on Ubaldo's thumb is healing very nicely. They're going to evaluate whether he can throw his bullpen tomorrow. De La Rosa did throw a bullpen today, so things are healing very well with both of their fingers. And you know what? After talking to those guys, I realized that Keith Duggar has done such a good job in terms of getting them back to shape that, you know what, I thought I would try him out too. Okay, I like him short and square, Doogie. He does a great job. If he can handle Major League Baseball players' hands, I'm certainly trusting him with mine, guys.
All right, Alana. So
Well,
that's where
nice,
you were
yeah.
when we were looking for you earlier.
I kept asking, where's Alana? I didn't know she was having her nails done.
Is that a regular thing? 1-0 on Juan Uribe. Now, I want you to come clean. Cuticles need a little bit of work.
Clean under the.
No, well,
is that what you're asking?
No, not that kind of clean.
Okay.
Have you ever had a manicure?
No, never.
Do we have the polygraph here? Is it?
It's just flatlining. It's okay.
That's outside. Or have I? I guess we'll have to live vicariously through Alana.
Yeah.
Chris Iannetta is going to go out and visit with Chassis. 2-0 on Uribe with Loney at first base. Nobody out in the second.
Yeah, but if you ever see Alana's hands, they're very pretty. Her nails are nicely done. Now we know exactly what happens and where she gets it done.
Yeah.
Here's your bat, by the way.
Well, you know, they're not awful. There you go. Is Doogie in the dugout yet, or is this ongoing? Is this a live shot? Ripped to third. Wigginton comes up with it. There's one. There is two. What a play by Ty Wigginton. That was an absolute rocket off the bat of Uribe. He was kind of staring down there. Of course, Uribe just took a double away from Gonzalez a moment ago.
Talk about the hot corner. This is exactly what it is. Wigginton, all he does is just really puts that glove down in self-defense, gets a nice throw over to Lopez on to first base for the double play. That's 3 plays now in the ball game. 2 by Ty Wigginton and 1 by Juan Uribe, by the third baseman, that made great plays.
And think from the Rocky perspective. I mean, if that goes through him, you're saying, well, it could happen. I mean, the ball was hit that hard. Now you have 2 on and nobody out. Last inning, if that ball gets by and the Kemp hits, you have 2 on and 2 outs. 2 great scoring opportunities for the Dodgers averted.
Well, now that's 5 double plays in 22 innings for the Rockies.
And look who's been in the middle of them. Wigginton, we know, has turned a couple. Jose Lopez, who they said, you know, he may be a question mark defensively at second. I know we're only 2 ball games in an inning or so, but at least what we've seen has been solid, and he made a nice turn there.
Oh, he has, and think back to the one the other day in the game behind the back to start the double play with Troy. And Jim Tracy's a big believer in being strong on defense. And so far, the guys have shown that they can handle that role and they understand it.
1-2 on Barajas, and he pokes this one out to left field. That'll bring up Jamie Carroll.
Let's take a look at the Ultra Mo and the turn from Jose Lopez. Left foot on the bag, has a little bit of trouble getting it out. Just kind of a little bit of change-up grip when he goes in to get it. But still strong enough. And the ball was hit so hard, you can get Uribe by a step.
So here's Carroll. Last year in the second half, he hit just under 300, which was the best average of any Dodger. And you could make a pretty convincing case that the Dodger MVP last year was this guy.
Well, Joe Torre said as much. And I think that says a lot about Jamie Carroll and where he's able to play at second, short, and be the anchor of that infield with as many injuries as they had.
Carroll's in a ditch 0-2. So Jamie went to University of Evansville, an Indiana kid pulling hard for Butler last night. And he's gone. Good pitching by Chassin. And some help defensively from Ty Wigginton. Middle of 2, no score at Coors Field. Tulowitzki Lopez and help to face Clayton Kershaw. Today's E470 Road Ahead is brought to you by E470. Sign up for Express Toll today and start paying 20% less on E470 tolls. Tomorrow's a day ball game if you're heading out to Coors Field. And then the Rockies are off on their first road trip of the year. 4 in Pittsburgh, 4 against the Mets in Queens. And Thursday against Clint Hurdle's Pirates, who are off to a nice start, by the way. They won 3 of their first 4. That's opening day in Pittsburgh. So it'll be an afternoon affair also. Tulowitzki takes high ball 1. Troy 5 for 27 lifetime against Clayton Kershaw. Though last year against lefties, he tore him up. 342 average.
Clayton Kershaw, though, is not any ordinary left-handed pitcher. The guys have averages low against him.
He's really an interesting kid, not only because of his immense talent, but he got married this offseason to his high school sweetheart. And to give you an idea, a little bit more about how special this young man is off the field. He and his wife, Ellen had done a lot of charity work in Africa with an orphanage in Zambia. They spent their honeymoon not on some beach. They went to Zambia and helped build an orphanage. And it moved him so much, that's in there 3-1, that he has now started a charity here at home. And for each strikeout that he puts down this year, he's going to donate, he and his wife, $100 to help build another orphanage in Zambia. This ball's pop foul. It's going to get out of play behind the Rockies dugout. I mean, think about this. At the time, 22, because it was in December that he got married. He goes on his honeymoon as a fairly well-to-do young man, right?
Yep.
With his young wife, and they go and do charity work in Africa. That tells you a whole lot more about Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah, and already has racked up $1,000 towards that orphanage as far as strikeouts. He has 10 on the season.
3-2 on Tulowitzki. And this ball's well hit to right. Ethier, though moving back, will make the catch. Who wants tacos, fans? Remember, if the Rockies score 7 or more runs during any ball game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies taco special. Feed your Rockies fever only at Taco Bell. So Tulowitzki goes back to the dugout, and people at home realize he hasn't had a hit yet this year. But if you go back, you probably feel pretty good about the at-bat, don't you, Jeff?
You really do, because he got himself in a good hitter's count. And I thought he hit the ball to right field a little bit better than that ball traveled. And quite honestly, I think the wind held that up just a little bit. But he's starting to get back to that Tulo swing.
And Lopez in a hole 0-2. Jose Lopez hitting in the 5 spot tonight. Todd Helton will follow. A pop up to shallow left center field. Kemp long run, Gwynn a long run, and it's Gwynn who finally gets there. Kemp was playing very deep. 2 outs. That'll bring up Todd Helton, who spoke to us earlier this spring about his health.
Hopefully I'm healthy. I mean, I don't know if I've changed my workout too much. I can't really, heavy weights. I'm not in there powerlifting or anything like that, but just working hard, working consistently more than anything.
Well, he got a pitch to hit there, and he drove it to left field, but it was right at Tony Gwynn Jr. 6 up, 6 set down so far for Clayton Kershaw. We'll go to the third. More on defense. Rockies have already done a lot on defense. Here's Ty Wigginton taking a hit from Matt Kemp in the first inning. And watch this play. Uribe hits a rocket, and all he gets for it is a 5-4-3 in the box score. Home Depot doing more on defense. Clayton Kershaw leading off in the third. He takes strike 1 from Yolis Chassin. With Jeff Houston and Alana Rizzo, I'm Drew Goodman. Glad you're with us on Root Sports tonight. That pitch misses, 1-1. Mini 2-game set with the Dodgers tomorrow afternoon. And then the Rockies won't see the Dodgers again until the final 2 days of May and the first day of June at Dodger Stadium.
What I find interesting is that very rarely do you play a team within your division in only a 2-game set. You see it when you play somebody maybe from the National League East or the Central. But I can't remember the last time we played somebody from the West in only a 2-game set.
Which generally means there's going to be a 4-game set at some point, and that's the case in June 9th through the 12th. The Dodgers are here Thursday through Sunday. First of 18 between these two clubs, and it's 3-2. Last year, the Dodgers went 11-7 against the Rockies. Unfortunately, that has been a familiar tune. Ground ball to short. The Rockies made some bold moves in the offseason and signings as well. And so far, so good through the first couple of games. The Rockies 4 for 9 with, Cargo's 4 for 9. And you can learn more about the Rockies offseason doings with Rockies All Access. Locked and Loaded. That's Thursday at 6:30 in the evening. With one out, Rafael Furcal, who bounced to second, steps up. Rockies have not won the season series against the Dodgers since the 07 World Series year. And they have only finished ahead of Los Angeles twice in their history. 2007, 2009, actually 3 times, and then last year. 2 outs.
Well, that's something that has to happen for the Rockies to move ahead of the Dodgers and the Giants. Take a look, see what Furcal did on the. Oh, he did the old swinging bunt type of thing where he kind of like a softball player would do, where they cheat up in the box. And he was fortunate he kept that right foot inside the box, because if he makes contact outside of the batter's box, then it's an automatic out. You don't see that too often anymore. Omar Vizquel's the only guy, only other player that I know that has done that.
You ever tried that BP or anything?
It's hard. I mean, it is, but think about Ichiro. Ichiro's another guy that kind of does that running.
This is going to get down the right field line. Gwynn's going to have himself a double with 2 outs. 4th hit for the Dodgers already. And Chacin really wanted to put Gwynn down there, because now you have Andre Ethier coming up, who lined a single to center field.
Curveball right over the top off the Ultramo. Didn't quite get all of that, did Tony Gwynn Jr. Off the end of the bat a little bit more than on the sweet spot. That's curved over towards the line. Trots into second base easily.
Andre Ethier last year, in the first 6 weeks of the season, got the Rafael Furcal Award, and he had a chance at him.
That was close.
You know what the Rafael Furcal Award is, right?
What's that?
Do you remember a few years ago before Furcal got hurt? He was the MVP of the National League the first 6 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
Right? Then he got hurt.
Same thing with Ethier. Hurt his finger.
Yeah, Ethier last year hit .392 with 11 home runs, 33 RBIs, but then had to go on the DL May 14th. He had .260 the rest of the year. Fastball tails away, or actually changeup tails away. Chacin will throw that hitter's counts.
Well, that's why he's able to get so many strikeouts too. Swing and miss pitches. Almost 27% of the time that batters take a swing at a Chacin pitch, they miss it.
Which is a very high rate. That's in there. Guy's a very good breaking ball hitter also.
Well, that's why you hit like he hits. For a high average, that's why he's hitting in the number 3 hole.
That's high, 2-1. We'll talk about the Rockies' nucleus. It's now Gonzalez and Tulowitzki, Ubaldo Jimenez. Chacin's going to be, it figures to be a big part of that. For the Dodgers, it's really down to 3 position players, and that's Ethier, Campbelloni, and then on the hill, naturally, it's Clayton Kershaw, and now Chad Billingsley, because they just signed him to a long-term deal, and he's still a young kid.
Yeah, and Ethier is one of those guys you can't quite read, though, because 2 weeks into spring training, he said he wanted to be the leader, and about 2 or 3 days before opening day, he says, well, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here.
Kind of strange. That just missed. 3-1. Chassin will be careful here.
Well, I think they're going to put him on.
Yeah, and the reason being is, again, a left-handed hitter. Ethier's 6 for 11 against Chassin. Matt Kemp, who's immensely talented and off to a fast start, is 3 for 18 lifetime against Chassin.
Well, the other thing, too, you have right on right, so that also helps Yolis. Hey, fans, $59 Coca-Cola value packs are available for every April game except the Cubs series. Make sure you get yours today at 1-800-388-ROCK or online at ColoradoRockies.com.
I know it's early, but this is one of those moments because runs figure to be few and far between tonight with Clayton Kershaw. So you have 2 outs, you have 2 on, you have the cleanup hitter Kemp facing Chassin. Not a lot of room for error tonight for Yolis Chassin.
And now what you're thinking as an infielder is if the ball's on the ground, I got to dive to make sure I keep it from going to the outfield.
You have a plus runner at second base in Tony Gwynn.
Well, and you also have a plus runner at the plate, too. That's the other thing that kind of hurts you. You would like to play a couple steps deeper, but then you realize that if he has that one of those hits that just out of your reach, that he's going to possibly get to first as well.
Another pick play. This time they went with Lopez. I think we had a nice play in the seats, Huey.
Good round of applause. Oh, yes. Without a glove.
In a suit. Without spillage.
High fives all around.
It's a trifecta. One-handed in a suit without spilling anything. Here's the 0-1. This is lifted to left center field. Fowler has it, and no harm done. So Chassin gives up a 2-out double, has to walk Ethier, but he gets Kemp with the sky to center field. No score. Baja broadband viewers from St. George, Utah. Thanks for rooting on the Rockies. I have never been to St. George. I heard it's a beautiful town. In fact, my wife has very close friends who live over in St. George, Utah. Thanks for checking out the Rockies right here on Root Sports. 1-0 on Ty Wigginton, leading off the bottom of the third for the Rockies. 2-0. Rockies have hit a couple of balls hard. Do not have a base runner yet against Kershaw. Gonzalez absolutely ripped the ball at third baseman Juan Uribe in the first. Tulowitzki had a drive to deep right, and that's going to be the first hit. Broken bat single to left. So Wigginton leads off the third with a knock, and let's check in with Alana Rizzo. Hey, Alana.
Hey, guys, thanks very much. In the first 2 games of this season, Chris Iannetta is really catching on. 3 for 6 guys with 2 doubles, 3 runs, 2 walks, and RBI. You know, he's reached base safely in 5 of his first 8 plate appearances. And you know what? Behind the dish, he's doing it as well. His pitching staff has a 3.14 ERA when he's behind the plate. Let's see what he does here, guys.
Yeah, he is off to a really good start, Alana. And as it continues, the confidence will grow. He had 4 hits all of April last year before being sent out. He's got 3 right now.
And this is really reminding me of the way he was swinging the bat back in 2008. Just a lot more confidence. And what I've noticed so far, too, is hits are going to all parts of the ballpark. I think about the double down the right field line the other day. Base hits to center field, double to left center field. And this is what he's been, I think, matured into now as a hitter, being able to do that, because his power is very good to right.
He's a strong guy. He can hit it out to any part of the ballpark. I asked him if he would, you know, typically he's a guy that sees a lot of pitches, but if he'd be a little more aggressive with Kershaw, who throws so many fastballs, particularly first pitch fastballs. And he said, you know, you really just got to get a good pitch to hit.
That's kind of the MO for the whole Rockies batters tonight.
And he got a good pitch there. And he got the barrel out also, Jeff.
Yeah, I was talking to Chris Warren, the Rockies advanced scout, today before the ball game down in the locker room. And CW was talking about that as, you know what, if you get that fastball, you can't miss it. Because you're going to get very few that are going to be center cut on you. And now you have to go into protect mode. It's tough enough to hit at this level, but then when you're facing a guy like Kershaw, makes it even more difficult.
Strike 3 on a hook. So Kershaw strikes out Iannetta. You can tell by Chris's facial reaction, he thought that pitch was up, but he's got to protect Chacin, and he didn't say anything to Rob Drake. And that pitch clearly looked like it was up.
Yeah, it might have just got the top of the zone. It didn't have that tight bite on it, though. Is that more of the slider? The curveball, to me, was somewhere in between a slurve, and I think Rod Barajas really sold that one by holding the glove, dropping it just a little bit. Rob Drake bit on it.
So Yolis Chacin at the plate. At the age of 13, Chacin was telling me the other day, became a full-time pitcher. Bunts this one foul and out of play.
Get a better look on the side here. Now that came up above the belt, and any more above the belt's a ball.
Yeah, I mean, that was letter high, and I know the old line, the letter high fastball for a strike. Folks, if it's hit the letters, it's a ball. The way things are officiated,
it's not the definition in the rule book from armpits to the knees. Now it's more the belt to the knees.
Yeah, the lower part of the knees to the belt area is the strike zone. Very small.
Yeah.
Chacin gets it down. Barajas will go to first, and he's used to having 6'3" James Loney there. He almost threw it over 5'9" Jamie Carroll's head.
He used the bag to get a little bit higher.
Quest high speed pitch. Kershaw has touched 95. Chacin 93. Our Quest high speed pitch. Brought to you by Quest, a fast, reliable, secure, heavy-duty internet from Quest. 2 outs, runner in scoring position for Dexter Fowler. He had a soft liner that Jamie Carroll reached up and snagged in the bottom of the first. That's high, ball 1.
It was almost the same location that he called Chris out on a strike.
Again, catchers, Huey, as you well know, they have to be very, very careful.
Yeah. Because you want that pitch if you're catching them.
On the corner. 7th pick in the 2006 draft. At a Highland High School in the Dallas area. That's on the black again, 1-2.
At 94 miles an hour. Great look from the overhead shot, and once again Barajas set up in that on that corner, and then just held the glove.
That was a line in tennis, Huey. When your opponent makes a particularly good shot, you say, "Hey, too good."
Right.
And those 2 pitches, too good.
Too good. But now you've got to go back to more of a protect type of swing. Just get the ball in play.
And he went out there again, and he gets the strikeout. So the Rockies get their first hit, get a runner to second. That is all. We'll go to the 4th, scoreless. Well, the Rockies have had their issues with the Dodgers the last few years, and especially here at Coors Field, believe it or not. The Dodgers 18-9 at Coors Field the last 3 seasons. The Rockies finally turned the tables in 07 on their way to winning 90 ball games and eventually going to the World Series. James Loney at the plate. The fastball is wide of the strike zone and high, ball 1.
Yeah, I saw that stat, a .667 winning percentage for the Dodgers here since 2008. That's just shocking.
That's a fair ball and a great play by Helton. Chassin gets over to cover. Huey, you played some first base in the big leagues. That was a more difficult play than I think people realize, wasn't it?
Well, it kind of goes back to that play that Ty Wigington made over at third base. You get over there towards the line, and Todd realized right now the only option he has is to drop to that knee, short hop it, and once it goes into that big trap of his, he's able to flip it over to Yolis for the out. But that is not an easy play, but that's why he's won 3 Gold Gloves.
And he also was so smart to come get it because that next topspin hop.
You can't back up on it. If you do, you're dead. That ball's going to go off your chest, off your arm, and it's going to go by you. Well, I'm not sure if this was on purpose or not after the ball that Uribe hit back in the second inning or not, but I like the location.
Uribe swings and misses 1-1 on Juan. Such an instrumental piece in San Francisco's run to a world championship last year. Uribe brings a lot to the table, including leadership.
And that's why I was a little shocked that San Francisco let him go because of that.
Especially because they went out and signed the same type of player, an elder statesman, if you will, in Miguel Tejada.
Yeah, and that's what was shocking about it. He helped them win a World Series. He's a leader. He knows what's going on there.
Giants are now 1-4. Yeah.
Of course, all those games for the Giants have been on the road. First in LA for 4, now 3 in San Diego.
The thing that has to be alarming for Bruce Bochy and talking to some of the Dodgers, the Giants played very sloppy baseball. They made a lot of errors. They were not at all sharp.
Yeah, you had Aubrey Huff out in right field. I mean, that's just a little bit different. Pablo Sandoval over at third base, different. Aaron Harang got the win in his first game for the Padres tonight.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Uribe with 1 out. Juan came up with the Rockies. Good guy. 24 home runs, drove in 85 last year for San Francisco.
Slider down and away.
And he got it. Yep, no question about it. That's always been a pitch that Uribe has struggled with. There are others who struggle with that also. But his first step, and we've talked about a lot, Jeff, is really in the bucket.
Because he wants to try to pull the ball to left field. That ball working away from him with the hard slider. Excellent location. Chris called for it out there. He was able to hit his spot, and Uribe started to go for it, and that backside's bailing a little bit. Didn't stand a chance.
So with 2 outs and nobody on, Barajas, who had a soft single to left, steps up, and that's strike 1.
Well, so far, we're getting exactly what we thought we would get, Drew, in a pitcher's ball game. Some quick outs.
0-2 on Barajas. We talk about a veteran guy who was tickled to get moved to the Dodgers last year. That was the case with Rod Barajas, who is a Southern California native and grew up an enormous Dodger fan. And in his first ball game with the Dodgers, he had 3 extra base hits in a ball game at Milwaukee. In his first home ball game in Dodger blue at Chavez Ravine, he hit a home run in front of friends and family.
Yeah, you kind of want to reward him for bringing you back and then playing well, and that's why they ended up re-signing him again.
Here's Donnie Baseball. Here's the 0-2. Uh-oh, he left that up. Turn foul.
Go foul.
That's a mistake that Chassin's going to live to tell about.
Chris is going out there right now. Okay, don't throw that hanging slider inside again.
Okay. You know, it looks like Chassin's laughing about it a little bit.
Well, he is, because he hit it foul. He got away with one, hung it up there, and he hit it a country mile. Now you just come back and make a better pitch, especially 0-2.
Yeah, he got a mulligan. Take advantage of it. Trying to get him to go after a high fastball, 1-2.
Just throw that slider in the same spot that you threw it to Uribe. Don't try to overthrow it.
They're going out there. And he got him with a slider. It wasn't well located, but he struck him out. 3rd strikeout for Yoeli Chassin. 1, 2, 3, 4th inning. Get that a lot here at 20th and Blake. All season long, in addition to great sunsets, join us for Toyota Talk. Text your comments live during the game and see what you and fellow Rockies fans have on their mind about their favorite team. Text Toyota, followed by a space, and then your comment to 720-720. And I'll tell you what we're going to give you tonight. This pitch is low to Spilborgh's ball one. 2, 3, and 4 for the Rockies here in the fourth. George Frazier, on his Frazier's Fab Five, put a list together during his era of the top 5 first basemen. And when I say his era, when George played throughout most of the 80s, and obviously he's been a broadcaster pretty much since he retired. So he has Helt, Keith Hernandez, Don Mattingly, Mike Hargrove, Ken Herbick as his top 5 first basemen. We'll ask you the same question. Who do you have among your top? You don't have to put 5 down, but if you want to put a couple of names, maybe you agree with Frazier. Maybe there's a couple on there that you wanted to add. Throw it out there during Toyota Talk in the top of the 6th inning. You can also chime in throughout the postgame show. That's outside. 3 and 1 on Spilborghs.
You know what? That's going to be an interesting list because we've got a lot of dedicated viewers out there to see what their take is on the best first baseman of all time. Well, people that they've seen.
Right, that they've seen.
Yeah.
Basically, we're looking at the last 30 years based on George's list. So Lou Gehrig was an all-timer, but we're not gonna talk about Gehrig and Greenberg, Hank Greenberg, and all the greats that came before, say, 1980. Swung on and missed, and Kershaw comes back and strikes out Spilborghs for the 2nd time in the ballgame. That is 4 punch-outs for Clayton Kershaw. AT&T trivia question tonight. Left-hander Clayton Kershaw was the Dodgers' opening day starter. Who was the last Dodgers left-hander to start on opening day? Cargo hit a bullet to third his first time up. And look out, the bat is heading into the seats. Hopefully that didn't hit anybody. You sometimes see that, Huey, on a changeup. That was a fastball.
Well, yeah, the other time you'll see it a lot of times is in the summertime when it's a little bit more hot and humid. Very rarely on the fastball will you see the bat go, but you tell by that bottom hand releasing, the top hand is the one that actually threw it into the stands.
And it's 0-2. Not where you want to be with Clayton Kershaw.
Well, especially after you just swung at the curveball down in the dirt. I'd be shocked if he threw him another fastball after the way he lined it out. Go back to a breaking pitch, maybe?
Well, it shows him a fastball at 95. The thing is, I mean, for the next 2 pitches, you'd assume that one already is history. You're not going to see anything in the strike zone, maybe around the strike zone, but you wouldn't think he'd throw him something in the strike zone here.
Nope, and a slider down and away.
And he got him. And here's why, and that was a little bit low. Carlos Gonzalez, who led the National League in hitting last year at .336, he was better at what I'm about to say in the second half, and it's an area he wants to improve on. And after all, last year was his first full season. But he does chase a high percentage of pitches out of the strike zone.
He's still a relatively young hitter. This is his 2nd full year in the big leagues now, and it's still something that he's learning how to mature and get better at.
Tulowitzki hit a line drive to fairly deep right field his first time up. Troy went around. 1 ball, 1 strike. See,
well,
we're starting to go ahead.
Well, no, but you know what we're starting to see now more than anything is a lot more off-speed pitches. The first time through the lineup, Clayton Kershaw maybe threw 2 off-speed pitches. Everything else was fastball. Now think about the off-speed pitches, the sliders, and the curveballs you're seeing.
And there's the slider. 1-2. He's worked 10 innings this year now without giving up a run. In fact, he's given up only 5 singles in 10 innings this year.
And 14 strikeouts to boot.
He's starting to compile a list of first basemen over the last 30 years to add to George's Fab Five.
Well, we'll keep our list up here. We'll see.
High fly ball, left center field, pretty well hit. Did he get it? Yes, he did. Troy Tulowitzki takes Clayton Kershaw downtown. First hit of the year, 1-0 Rockies.
On any other night, I would have said there was no doubt about that, but the balls didn't really seem to be carrying as well tonight. The wind's blowing in a little bit from left field, left center field. And when he hit it, I was like, okay, that's got a chance, but then just not quite sure, but he's a strong young man. And that's also the deepest part of the ballpark at 420. You're going to get a great look from the ultra mode. Just the full extension, the head down, the follow through, the hit drive, everything you talk about in hitting.
Strike on Lopez. It's 0-2.
Well, I wasn't quite sure. Let's see if Clayton Kershaw knew. He looks down for a second. What he's doing is he's checking the outfielders to see what their route is.
Yeah, that's what we do also. We watched Gwynn and Kemp, and that's when we realized pretty good chance that thing was going to get out. He hit that a long way. So Tulowitzki takes Kershaw Lodo, and it's 1-0 Colorado as Jose Lopez strikes out. Done with 4. Troy Tulowitzki and the Rockies on the board. Going deep off of Clayton Kershaw. And now in the 5th inning, 8-9-1 for the Dodgers against Yoeli Chacin. Jamie Carroll, he struck out his first time up. And that's over the outside corner for a strike. Great story about Yoeli wanted his folks to come in for his first assignment of the year, because he's always pitched well when his family's been here. And Mom said, you know what? It may be nasty. I'm waiting for the nice weather. So she's coming in May, back up the middle and on through. So Jamie Carroll, a leadoff single, and that'll bring up Kershaw. Let's check in again with Alana Rizzo.
Guys, I'm up here in the rock pile where you often find the most diehard Rockies fans. I'm been joined now by Dave Black of Highlands Ranch. Dave is from Chicago originally, came here in 2000, and attends about 25 Rockies games a year, and he has a question for you, Huey.
Hi, guys. I was just wondering, when you have a pitcher on the mound, maybe throwing 6-7 balls in a row or in a bit of a slump, what sorts of strategies or techniques do they use to kind of get out of that slump and get back on track, find their rhythm again?
Basically not losing your marbles on the mound, guys.
Well, I think the most important thing for you as a pitcher and or a hitter, a position player, whatever, is to kind of step back just for a second, regroup, take a deep breath, maybe have somebody come over and talk to you. Just try to break up that whole thought process so you can get away from it for about 4 or 5 seconds and then get back to what you need to focus on again.
And this is a difficult situation. There's a contrast. The 8-hole hitter for the Rockies is Chris Iannetta, who's going to be more of a station-to-station runner. Jamie Carroll, who hits in the 8th spot for the Dodgers, has good speed, which makes it easier for the pitcher. He doesn't have to be as fine with that bunt. And now Chacin, perhaps rattled by the presence of Carroll at first, has fallen behind 2-0.
Well, and he's rattled a little bit, too, because I think he thought he should have had that ball by Jamie Carroll up the middle, just watching his reaction a little bit. And so now it goes back to the point just a moment ago where you need to refocus your thought process here. They're giving you the out. Throw it right down the middle and let him go ahead and bunt. And if he lays down a bad one, you can get a double play.
It's a good bunt. And Helton just did get it to Lopez in the line of traffic. Fortunately, Jose got his arm out of there. Sacrifice for Kershaw. Carroll at second with 1 out. Let's answer the AT&T trivia question. It reads once again, left-hander Clayton Kershaw, Dodgers opening day starter. When was the last time the Dodgers opened the season with a lefty? Well, he's in the house.
I have the
And your answer?
It was Fernando Valenzuela. Fernando Mania just swept through not only LA, all of baseball.
What? It was something ridiculous. Like 4 of his first 5 starts were shutouts for Fernando when he came up. There he is. He does a great job on Spanish radio with the Hall of Famer, Jaime. Kyle takes a strike. It's 1-1. Some of the bats missing.
Hit it right off the end of the bat. I saw that in the Diamondbacks game the other day with Ryan Roberts. Did the same thing, swung, hit it right off the end, fractured the bat.
One and 2 on Furcal. And for the 3rd time in the ball game, he's played Pepper with Jose Lopez. Carroll will go to third, 2 outs, and that'll bring up Tony Gwynn Jr. And I think Chris Iannetta is going out perhaps to remind him, hey, this is the guy we've got to get.
We have to. Don't worry about Jamie Carroll over at third. Okay, you have 2 outs. This is the guy, because the guys that are following an Andre Ethier, you do not want to get to with a couple men on base. Don't lose focus here. Make your pitches to Gwynn, get out of it, and we'll move to hitting in the bottom half of the 5th.
He hung a pitch to him last time ahead in the count. In the air down the left field line, and it is a foul ball. That time Cargo could not catch up with it. He made a very good play to rob Gwynn of probably a double his first time up.
Well, now let's see now what happens if Cargo moves over towards the line a little bit more.
Hey, by the way, we want to thank our good friends at the new Wazi Market here in the ballpark. You got to go check out the food because they brought us up a smorgasbord of great Italian food. Did you have some of that pizza, by the way?
I could because Dougie ate it.
Doug wolfed it down. They had paninos there. Formaggio di Polo. So that's cheese and chicken, by the way.
Thank you. I did not know that.
No, you didn't. Breaded chicken breast, pesto, basil, marinara, 3 cheeses on Italian bread. Unbelievable food. You got to check it out. It's one of the new things in the ballpark this year, the Wazi Market. 1-1 on Tony Gwynn. Ground ball chopped to Wigginton. This is a tough play. Out at first. What a play by Wigginton. Little stretch from Helton. Otherwise, we're talking about a 1-1 ball game.
Perfectly executed by Ty and Todd. Just get it over there in the neighborhood. He's got the rest taken care of. What a play.
Home run. Todd Helton will lead off against Clayton Kershaw in the 5th inning. Helton, Wigginton, and Iannetta. The first two starting a great play to end the top of the 5th inning. There's Wigginton.
3 defensive plays by Wigginton and also a base hit tonight.
Yep. This ball's well hit to left field. Going back is Gwynn. It is off the wall. Oh, what a play by Gwynn. He stabbed it with one hand. Helton's got a hustle. He's out. Tony Gwynn, I don't know how he grabbed that ball with the bare hand. I mean, he came off the wall like a rocket. If he just snatched it with his bare hand and fired a strike to second base.
Sometimes you get lucky. I mean, Todd Helton crushed this ball to left field. Tony Gwynn goes back, realizes he doesn't have it. He actually stopped a little too late. He got too close to the wall, and all he could do was throw the bare hand up. He should be on the grass when he gets this ball. Instead, he's about 2 feet on the dirt, reaches all the way back, catches it on his fingertips. It almost goes through, and then makes the throw.
What a break for Tony Gwynn, and a terrific play.
You can't blame Todd for trying to.
That's an automatic thumb.
Yeah.
He hit it off the wall.
And he bobbles it all or does not make a good throw. He's safe.
1-1 on Wigginton. (7-4) on that putout. Some great defensive plays all around. Popped up right side, foul ground. He's going to have a play. 2 outs. Let's go back to that play Wigginton made to close the top of the 5th inning. Let me ask you, when you have a guy, well, describe this play, and then I want to ask a question.
Well, first of all, you have to jump up very high. You're worried about the base. Your momentum is going towards the third base coach's box. You don't get a whole lot on the throw, so what you're thinking in your mind is, let me skip it over there on one hop, because that's the best way I can get it there, and then it makes an easier play for Todd to go out and stretch and get it.
And he ends up getting it by plenty. The question I was going to ask you as you watch again is, when you are playing defense, you have a guy like Gwynn who kind of sprays the ball all over the place. Not to say you're not focused ordinarily when you're on the opposite side of the diamond, but do you have heightened awareness when you have a guy like Gwynn who may swing late or may try to slap the ball that direction?
Definitely, because you're thinking, okay, first of all, he might try to lay down a bunt too with the runner at third and 2 outs, but I got to know that he's going to slap it on the ground and try to run and beat it out. Other guys, you'll move way over into the hole between short and third, and if they hit it to you, it's more of an accident. They were just a little late on their swings. But guys like Gwynn, he's going to try. He has to use the whole field.
3-1 on Iannetta. Reminder coming up, top of the 6th inning, Toyota Talk. We're talking about your not just favorite, but who you believe were the best first basemen over the last 30 years. This ball driven high and deep left field. And Iannetta has taken Kershaw. Lodo. 2-0 Colorado. What a start for Chris Iannetta.
Let's go back to his first at bat. He fell behind 0-2, got the curveball, struck out. Really didn't say a whole lot. This time he was ahead in the count. So now he can jump on a fastball because he's geared up for it. And that's exactly what he did here. I mean, there was no doubt about it when he hit it. I love Clayton Kershaw's reaction on this. Chris knew it when he hit it.
And Chacin bounces one to third. Uribe will throw out Chacin. Chris Iannetta with career home run number 50. As he hits one out against Clayton Kershaw to make it 2-0. Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. By Viagra. By your neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota moving forward. By Jack in the Box. Right now, get the All-American Jack combo for only $4.99 plus tax. And by AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. As we go to the top of the 6th inning, the Rockies shutting out the Dodgers 2-0 behind Yolis Chacin, and a pair of home runs from Troy Tulowitzki and that man, Chris Iannetta. Drew Goodman, Jeff Hewson, Alana Rizzo. First of just a quick 2-game set against the Dodgers. And LA will have the heart of their order. Andre Ethier, Matt Kemp, and James Loney here in the top of the 6th. Ethier a single and an intentional walk. And this ball is yanked foul, a breaking ball down and in.
That intentional walk that he had back in the 3rd inning. Those are one of the little subtle things the manager has to decide there. Does he want to let Ethier go at him or Matt Kemp? And he made the right call. Walked Ethier, got Kemp on the fly ball.
All right, so you know what, Albert Pujols, see that I had to talk to Frazier. Albert Pujols got to be number 1 on that list.
Has to be.
Last 30 years, last 130 years, he's going to be among the top group. And Jeff Bagwell, shout out. You know what? He's got to be in the conversation.
King Albert.
King Albert, yeah. You can't deny the numbers of Albert Pujols.
Gracie.
Yeah, you gotta like Gracie. That pitch misses 3-1. Chacin's got a bear down here. Willie McCovey, a little bit before the era that George and Tracy were discussing in the pregame show. Ball 4, and that was not an intentional walk, and now you have to deal with Matt Kemp. Maybe the one guy that Chacin has more comfortable throwing to all game. You know who has your number. And Ethier, 6 for 11 after the base hit in the 1st inning. 6 for 11 lifetime against Chacin. Kemp a ground ball to 3rd, fielder's choice, and a fly ball to center field.
Matt Kemp, a tough guy to double up, though.
Frank Thomas's name's on there. Will Clark. Cecil Cooper, he's a good player. Don Mattingly was on that list, folks.
Tony
Garvey
Perez.
Fan. Yeah. Tony, a little bit before that era. Hall of Famer. Some folks up in Cheyenne. Big Cat, a shout out for Andres Galarraga. 1 ball, 1 strike on Kemp. Saw Giambi's name go by. He's got 400+ home runs.
It's kind of a fun list to see.
Yeah, it's a position where there's been a plethora of great offensive players. You got to be. If you're playing first, you got to swing the bat. And typically, it's for power.
Have we seen a Fred McGriff sighting yet?
I thought I saw one. Here's the 1-2. Maybe it was on your list.
It was on my list.
Yeah, it was on your list. I think that's where I saw it.
Yep.
2-2. Boog Powell, that's a little earlier. To Giambino. Love the Giambino card.
It's a very nice card to have in your back pocket.
Big man strolls out. It's like the E Street Band, huh? 2-2. Got him. Big strikeout. Chacin fans Matt Kemp. 1 out in the 6th.
Other than the hanging slider that he threw to Rod Barajas, who hit it foul, another slider for Yolis. This one's up just a little bit. Matt Kemp swings through it. 4th strikeout on the night now. Pitches so far as we head into the 6th inning.
Now the guy that, we say this with every team, there's always one guy that seems to swing the bat well against one club more than others. Loney's a very good offensive player. but he has 60 RBIs in his career against the Rockies, 44 here at Coors Field, including 9 in one evening. His rookie year in 2006 when he was called up.
Yeah, and a batting average, it's just right at 320. Think about that. It's nearly twice as many RBIs here at Coors Field than anywhere else he's had for a road stadium.
And this is a huge chopper, one play, and that's first. How many times have you heard managers go back to your collegiate days at Wyoming, high school in Sedona, Arizona, just get it out?
You have to, especially with the lead. Don't start throwing the ball around, do anything like that. Goes back to the old theory, if they're going to give you the out, you take it. That one went right off the plate. You at least realizing that the only play he had was to get the out at first. That's what he did.
There's a Fred McGriff sighting on the list. John Olerud. Robert down in Byers, Colorado. JT Snow, good player. Wally Joyner, good player. Good defensive player, particularly with JT Snow. But I don't know if we're talking
not quite
top,
third, no.
Not quite in the top 5 over the last 30 years.
Joey Votto on that list. I just don't think he has enough of a history yet.
No.
Very good player.
Like his future.
I really like his future.
Like his present.
Like everything about him. Just would like to see it for 10 years.
What Clint Hurl used to say, you want to be great, be good for a really long time. 2-0 on Uribe. Dangerous man. 2-1.
We saw Eddie Murray on there.
Have or have not?
We just did.
Finally, yeah. I mean,
yep.
This is a Hall of Famer, 500+ home runs. Eddie Murray's got to be on that list.
Don't throw him anything inside, please. Stay away from him.
Down low, 3-1. You know, looking at a guy like Uribe, you know what the book's going to be. And it just shows you how difficult the art of pitching is to say, okay, I'm going to pitch here, because clearly he doesn't cover the outside part of the plate well, especially if it's spinning. Yet Uribe has been a most productive offensive player for the better part of a decade, because guess what? It's hard to pitch to a scouting report on every individual pitch.
If there was, there would be no scoring involved, because every hitter has a hole in their swing.
And this should get the Rockies to the dugout. Chacin, well done. He now has 6 shutout innings. The Rockies 2 and the Los Angeles Dodgers nothing. Fowler in the top of the order when we come back. For the Cooney Lexus Look Back, brought to you by Cooney Lexus, where luxury has an address on South Broadway in Littleton. Yoli Chacin has been terrific. 12 balls on the ground, just 2 airborne, 4 punch outs. He's gotten the big outs, and he's gotten 2 big swings. One from Troy Tulowitzki. First hit of the year went about 440 feet. And then Chris Iannetta got Kershaw jumping off the hill with a home run last inning. Dexter tried to bunt his way on. It is 0-1. Fowler, a line out and a strikeout. Bottom of the 6th inning, 2-0 Colorado. 2 23-year-olds, Yoli Chassin and Clayton Kershaw. Spilborghs and Cargo to follow.
Really been the tale of 2 halves in this ball game. Early on, Ulisse was struggling with his command, had some traffic out there, but was able to make pitches. Kershaw just the opposite. It's been the last couple innings that he hasn't been able to and has been hurt by the 2 home runs.
And he falls behind there, 3-1. Yeah, the Dodgers left 4 on in the first 3 innings. Hard ground ball. That's a fair ball down the right field line. Long run for Ethier. Fowler at 14 triples last year will stop at second with a leadoff double. So Dexter is now 8 for 22 lifetime against Clayton Kershaw.
Well, it kind of goes back to the question you asked me a moment ago. With a guy like Tony Gwynn as a third baseman, do you think he's going to hit it over there? Yeah, but that time where James Loney was playing really far off the line on a 3-1 count, he didn't think Dexter would hit it down there. Now, whether he would have got to it or not, I doubt that, just because it was right on the line. But he was playing so far away that there's no way he could even get there.
Let's see if Spilborghs can move him along. Pick to second, and Dexter gets back. What are you thinking now defensively if you want to rebate your third baseman? You got a lefty on the hill, you got speed at second.
Read the bunt. If it's hit hard, get the out.
You can tell by that inside-out swing, Spilborgh's trying to move the ball to the right side of the diamond.
Yep, and that's what you want to do. So as a hitter, what you're thinking, a right-handed hitter now, is I'm going to go ahead and look for the ball in a little bit because I know I can still then drop my elbow in to get that ball that way. If the ball is away from me, I can hit it that way very easily.
Look at it. Wow.
Because they're trying to pitch you inside because they want you to try to roll over the ball, hit it to the left side of the diamond so you don't advance the runner. Great shot from the Ultimo.
Trying to read arm angle out there, try to read the dirt ball, if you will. But to a right-handed batter, he's not going to throw many breaking balls in this situation,
no.
You wouldn't think.
He's got to speed up his bat. He went away a little bit with the hanging slide.
One and two. Gonzalez on deck. Outfield pretty deep, shaded a little bit toward right. And Spilborghs for the 3rd time in the ball game, a strikeout victim by Kershaw. 2-0 Colorado, 1 out. Now for our Geico quote of the day, Don Mattingly. Honestly, at one time, I thought Babe Ruth was a cartoon character. I really did. I mean, I wasn't born until 1961. I grew up in Indiana. Don Mattingly shares a baseball record with 2 others for hitting a home run in 8 consecutive games. Dale Long did it, and somebody tied it, and I'm not thinking of it right now. I know Dougie's probably got it for me. Oh, yeah, Ken Griffey Jr. hit a home run in 8 straight. Those are the 3 guys. Cargo's had some pretty good rips tonight against Kershaw. 1 ball, 1 strike. If your windshield has issues, we like to say, the people to see, Safelite Auto Glass. Give them a call, 303-287-5000. Check them out online at safelite.com. 1 ball, 1 strike on number 5. Leadoff double by Dexter Fowler down the right field line.
Dexter has to be careful out at second base again about a possible pick.
This ball is pulled to Loney, and Kershaw gets over. Dexter made a wide turn around third. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Tulowitzki, who will hear it from the crowd after giving the Rockies a 1-0 lead in his last at bat. Our Big Mac, Big Smack, our Big Mac Smack comes from Troy Tulowitzki. McDonald's Big Mac Smack. Get 1 free Egg McMuffin or Big Mac with the purchase of any drink. Valid at participating Colorado, Nebraska, and Wyoming McDonald's. Now Rick Honeycutt's going to go to the mound, join this conversation. Rod Barajas and Clayton Kershaw.
It was probably more of the case of, how do you feel pitching to this guy? Do you want to try to pitch around him to get to Lopez? He hit a home run off you last time.
And Lopez, he's gotten twice, fly ball left field.
Right, and so that's why Honeycutt, even though that Clayton Kershaw's been around a long time, he's just 23 years old. And Honeycutt, veteran major league pitcher himself, and big league coach for a long time.
Pitch count's pretty low for where he is in the ball game.
And he is due up third next inning. It'll be the 7th inning. It'll be interesting to see what happens there, but the pitch count's not going to be an issue, and they are going to go ahead and put him on.
Well, an opportunity for Jose Lopez, and even though it's a good baseball play, Jeff, when you're on deck and they put the guy on in front of you, it's got to raise the adrenaline just a little bit more.
Well, you take it personal. Who wouldn't? Because they're thinking, okay, we can get this guy out. We'll walk the guy ahead of you. So now you're already thinking, okay, you've got me twice. You're not going to get me a third time. That's your mindset if you're Jose Lopez standing on that on-deck circle. The Rockies this season, 5 for 27 with runners in scoring position.
Who Wants Tacos fans? If you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more during a ball game, for the Rockies Taco Special, text the keyword taco to 720-720. Feed your Rockies fever only at Taco Bell. Good Tuesday night crowd.
Good
Coors
weather.
Field, yeah, beautiful weather.
The wind finally died down a little bit too.
So Jose Lopez with Fowler at third, Tulowitzki at first. 2 outs, 2-0 Colorado, bottom of 6.
Overthrew that slider.
Yeah, some guys load, it's kind of a gradual pullback. Lopez kind of snaps his hands back.
Just a little quicker than I think most hitting coaches would like that to happen. But whatever his timing mechanism, make sure you get it back so you can go launching from there.
One ball, 1 strike. Told you on Sunday, and actually we didn't tell you Sunday because we got snowed out Sunday. We told you on Saturday, one of the things about Jose Lopez on his resume, he doesn't walk much, but he doesn't strike out much.
Well, he's going to put the ball in play, and the one thing that he's been able to do so far is hit it to that right center field gap.
A lot of room between first and second. Also, base hit up the middle. Here comes Fowler, and the Rockies lead it 3-0. Lopez says, "So you want me, huh?" A bullet right back through the originator.
And Jose in his career now 11 for 23 against the Dodgers.
3rd RBI of the season already for Lopez.
Well, it's a big hit for 2 reasons. First of all, you go up 3-0. It's a big hit for Jose Lopez's confidence, too. He's coming to a new team. He wants to show the boys, you know what, I can do it under pressure.
He wants to show the baseball world that last year was an aberration when he hit below 240. Helton smoked the ball off the left field wall his last time up, and Tony Gwynn made an amazing stab of the baseball off the wall with his bare hand and threw Todd out, trying to stretch the single into a double.
An accurate throw. There was no relay. The kids came in, one hopped, and he was out.
Watch this stab.
Well, the stab is good, but then to have the wherewithal to just make the strong throw, or excuse me, 2 hops, but no cutoff man.
Two on Helton. Tulowitzki and Lopez aboard. And Kershaw strikes out Todd. In the inning, a leadoff double from Dexter Fowler, and Jose Lopez brings him around. 3-0 Colorado.
Burger Shack. They introduced it over here to the Mountain Ranch Club, so if you're really having that hankering for a Helton burger, you can still get a great salad at Right Field Greens, but you can also get the Helton burger over here. They've added a lot of televisions up here that you can see, so you can enjoy the game, a great view, great seating area, great place to watch a ball game. Come up to the Mountain Ranch Club, guys, if you ever get the opportunity.
That looks like a great place to dine. We'll never have the opportunity game day, but you can sit inside or outside. We're going to have to sneak over there at some point. That's the 3rd straight comebacker. Rod Barajas back to Yolis Chassin. He's thinking he's on a backfield right now, back at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick doing PFPs.
That's okay. You field your position. And he's allowing himself to make those plays because of his finish. He's not so far off balance going towards first base that he can't make them.
Aaron Miles has come out on deck for Clayton Kershaw. Jamie Carroll, who is 1 for 2s at the plate, 1 out, nobody on, top of 7. 3-0 Colorado. That pitch down. You know, when you're asked, and we get asked about players all the time, when you're asked about Yolis Chassin, And we always speak glowingly about him. And why not? His numbers back it up. But when you describe him, he gets a lot of swings and misses. Guys don't hit the ball hard, but you're not talking about an upper 90s fastball. You're not talking. It's hard to describe his stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it isn't, because he has 3 different pitches. Another too-low play.
And Helton scoops it at first. Tulowitzki ended up 15 feet in foul ground as he takes a hit from Jamie Carroll.
And I don't know how many times Troy has done this against the Dodgers. I think back to a couple times he's made this play out in L.A. But this time it was more of a sidearm. We've seen him make that jump spinning throw. But this time he just has the arm strength to be able to get out of his glove and on the money. That's the other thing. And let's not forget about the pick once again by Todd over there. But just the arm strength going so far to your right to make that play.
2 outs, Aaron Miles, who spent parts of 9 years in the minor leagues and now has carved out a very nice big league career. Here's the pick again by Todd, who does that better than any first baseman in the business. 0-2 on Miles. Tulowitzki makes that play, and it's anything but routine. You played shortstop. He makes it look routine, though.
But that's what the great ones do. They make the play. Carlos Gonzalez makes plays out in the outfield, make them look easy. They're not, but that's the good players do that.
Fly ball left field. Here comes Cargo. He's got it. 1, 2, 3, 7th inning. If you pitch it and you catch it, you win a lot of games. What our crew is up to these days is to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. I know, George, can you believe I've jumped on the social media bandwagon? Frazier on the pre- and post-game set tonight. He can't believe it. I know you can't believe it, you.
Shocked.
Visit RockyMountain.rootsports.com for more information on how you can stay connected. It's kind of cool. I'm having fun with it. Alana's showing me the ropes. That guy, see, he's an expert. You believe?
I just got Drew's tweet.
I haven't tweeted yet. I tweet after the ball game.
Oh, after the ball game. Okay.
I didn't know it. Remember, we were on the plane last year before taking off, and I'm saying, now what is it called? Tweeting? How did you say that? I had no idea. Mike McDougal, the former closer for the Kansas City Royals, now part of the Dodger bullpen. Rockies up 3-0. Clayton Kershaw, 6 innings. He gives up 3 runs on 6 hits, walked 1. It was intentional. He struck out 8. He pitched well. He's been out-dueled tonight by Yolis Chassin. Ty Wigginton, 1 for 2. He's made his presence felt with his glove. Here's the 8th inning man for the Rockies. Rafael Betancourt. 97 pitches, that's all, through 7 innings.
Very economical for Ulisse.
This ball, a rocket again, gloved by Uribe. That's the second time tonight he's taken a double away from a Rocky. This time Wigginton, earlier in the ball game, was cargo.
Well, it doesn't get hit any harder than this, and you know it's hit hard when the batter doesn't even get out of the box before the guy catches it over at third. Uribe saying, hey, you can go ahead and let him hit it somewhere else. That ball is hit hard.
Iannetta fouls this one off. Time for the Coors Light. Cold hard blast. Chris Iannetta's last time up. It's a 1-0 ball game. Kershaw made a mistake. Fastball down and in, and Iannetta smoked it to left field. 50th career home run for Chris Iannetta. Our Coors Light cold hard blast. On the outside corner for a strike at 96. McDougal can still bring it.
Yeah, the pitch before that was 97 miles an hour. He has hit 100 miles an hour earlier in his career. Not quite sure he can throw that hard still. 97 will work, though.
It's not shabby.
Stewart's grabbed a bat to come to the on-deck circle.
And this ball's fouled off. And with Chacin evidently departing the game, it's the third time in the last year that he has thrown at least 7 innings of shutout baseball against the Dodgers.
Well, his last 8 starts, going back to last year, his ERA prior to tonight's ball game was 1.44. So it's going to go even lower than that in his last 11. Or excuse me, his last 9.
That is something else.
They ask about the buy one, get one free suite offer. There are 17 buy one, get one dates in April and May, including the Giants game. The space is limited. Call now.
Two and two on Iannetta. Ground ball deep in the hole for Furcal, who still possesses a pretty strong arm. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Ian Stewart to bat for Ulisse Chacin. Again, what a tremendous 2011 debut for Chacin.
Yeah, 7 innings, 2 walks, 1 of them intentional. Just 5 hits.
Good awareness. He knew the one guy that gave him trouble, Andre Ethier, and he passed on him twice.
Well, you know what? To me, a lot of that goes back to Chris Iannetta and Bob Apodaca, the game plan they had going into today's ball game. And then he went out and executed it.
High fly ball to deep center field. Kemp going back, and he'll make the catch on the warning track straight away. We will turn the page to inning number 8, 3-0 Rockies. summary, the Rockies got a single run in the 4th, 5th, and 6th inning. Home run from Tulowitzki in the 4th, Iannetta in the 5th. Dexter Fowler scored on a Jose Lopez base hit in the 6th. And Yolis Chacin out-dueling Clayton Kershaw. Chacin, 7 shutout innings. And now he'll give way to Rafael Betancourt. Rockies make a defensive change. Ian Stewart will stay in the ball game and play third base. And last year, Betancourt, I'm going to say this for a while, 89 punch-outs, 8 walks, and 2 of those walks were intentional.
And that's what makes it so shocking from the other day when he walked a guy in the Arizona series. But it was nice to have that off day on Sunday because Rafael was not a guy that was going to even pitch in that ball game. He and Houston Street were both down. But now with the off day, with that Sunday and yesterday being an off day, everybody's right back on track out at that bullpen.
Yeah, Huey, that's a great point because we focus so much naturally on the finger issues with Jimenez and with De La Rosa, and we forget that because there were 48 hours down, the bullpen is just fine and raring to go because had Sunday taken place, as you said, the Rockies' 9th and 8th inning would have had to have been reconfigured.
Well, and the other thing on that, Drew, is Rockies don't have another off day until the 21st of April.
Rafael Furcal will lead off. 0 for 3, 3 ground balls to second, and the first pitch is in there for a strike. Now, the Dodgers are busy as well. They're in the midst of 20 games starting today in 20 days, 12 on the road, and the combined winning percentage during the 20-game stretch of their opposition is almost .550. So they have a tough road in April. Ground ball to second. We've seen this before.
Very often you write 4-3 in your book 4 times by the same guy.
1 out. That'll bring up Gwynn. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Be a Wells Fargo banker today for details. How many of those hot dogs could you eat?
1.
That's why you're so svelte.
Kids, on the other hand, break the bank.
Those hot dogs are, they're so long that if you stack 3 of them up, they're taller than. You go ahead and laugh.
Well, I was only going to say 2.5, but you went in with 3.
I'll do the jokes, all right? Some left. Hey, you got to get up there on the concourse and finish those. Don't let those go to waste. That's a little bit low, 1-1.
How about tonight for the Rockies pitchers between Betancourt now and Chacin? 15 ground ball outs, only 2 fly ball outs. Tells me they're keeping the ball down in the zone.
Felipe Paulino on the right side, Matt Reynolds on the left side. One and 2. Tony, like his dad, played at San Diego State. Of course, his dad remains the coach there. We wish Tony the best. He's doing well. Cancer is in remission. He continues to work the sidelines for the Aztec baseball team. He's back in the booth, from what we understand.
Yeah, he'll be back in the booth tomorrow. He wasn't there for opening day today. His ball club was playing up at Long Beach State today.
Strike 3 on Gwynn. Betancourt freezes Little Tony.
Well, you can't paint this ball any better than Rafael, and this is what he does day in and day out. Down and away from whether a right-handed hitter or a left-hander. That's his MO, to try to get you on balls that are away from you, that give you nothing to try to hit out of the park on the pull side.
Ethier's reached all 3 times. A single, an intentional walk, and another walk against Chacin. He was the only one to get the free pass, and strike 1. When we talk about Tulowitzki's leadership, Rafael Betancourt is one of the leaders of the Rockies clubhouse as well. particularly with the pitchers, particularly the pitchers who hail from Latin America.
Kind of a father figure down there for him.
Yeah. Tremendous person. Very mature.
And
Makes his home in Florida with his family in the offseason.
Yeah, and what's nice, too, is you've got a leader in Ubaldo Jimenez for the starters, and then you've got the leader in the bullpen with a Betancourt.
Yep. Two-strike count on Ethier. Iannetta strolls to the outside corner. He wants this pitch up. And he missed with it, but it danced over the outside corner. Betancourt makes quick work of the top of the Dodger lineup in the 8th. Middle of 8, the Rockies leading LA 3-0. Energy save of the game. Look at this play Ty Wigginton makes in a 1-0 ball game to throw out Tony Gwynn, who can run. And he got him by half a step. Another great pickup at first by Todd Helton. He's had a couple of those in this ball game. The Rockies, as they did in their 3-1 win Saturday, have played outstanding defense tonight. Our Excel Energy save of the game.
Well, if he doesn't make that play, it gets by him, possibly 1-1 ball game with Andre Ethier. But now for the Dodgers, Blake Hawksworth, acquired from the St. Louis Cardinals back in November, and the Ryan Theriot deal that sent Theriot to the Cardinals to play shortstop. I've always liked Blake Hawksworth's arm. His opponent's batting average against is a little high ERA, but he's able to throw it pretty hard, anywhere from 90 to 98 miles an hour.
And that one cruised over at 95, swung on and missed by Dexter Fowler. Dexter doubled and scored in his last at bat. Clutch 2-out hit by Jose Lopez after the Dodgers elected to walk Troy Tulowitzki to put runners at first and third. And a couple early, I don't want to call them surprises, but nice stories. Not surprises, but nice stories through the first almost 3 ball games. The work of Chris Iannetta, naturally, coming out of the gate strong, and Jose Lopez, who did not have a particularly good spring offensively.
A lot of people say, question whether Jonathan Herrera should have been the starter. And those two guys had big targets on their back, but they've come out of the gate strong. And they've played integral parts so far in these first 3 ball games in the Rockies and the way they played.
See, the Mets beat up Cole Hamels and the Phillies 7-1. You know who got the win for the Mets? Chris Young of San Diego Padre fame. He's missed basically the last couple of years, more or less. Pirates and Cards. Rockies will see the Pirates in a couple of days. Spielborg's had a rough day at the plate against Kershaw. 3 punch-outs. Rockies have Street and Lindstrom up. Lindstrom, if perhaps the Rockies score 1 or 2 in the inning. And that catches the outside corner. It's one of those days for Spielborg. 3 punch-outs, and now you're 0-2 in your 4th at bat.
.97 miles an hour, you just have to try to foul it off. He was able to do that.
Yeah, it's not just the starting pitching, Huey, in this division. Think of some of the bullpen arms. You know, the closers are the first guys you think of: Brian Wilson, Heath Bell, Jonathan Broxton.
Dodgers have some power arms coming out of their bullpen.
Quo on the left side. This is fouled off.
Well, we saw McDougal a moment ago throwing 94 to 96. Hawksworth 93 to 96. Kenley Jansen, converted catcher, can throw it almost close to 100.
Gutierrez with Arizona can bring it. J.J. Putz, their closer, can bring it. This is on the ground, deep in the hole. And a good-looking play by Uribe. He still moves like a shortstop as he takes a base hit away from Spielborgs.
We've seen some defensive plays today, not only from the Rockies, but now the Dodgers pull one out. A couple of hard smashes to Uribe on the line. This one he has to range to his left and slide. The easiest way to get your momentum going towards first is do exactly what he did to stop yourself. Slide, make this quick transition. It's all with your feet.
2 outs, nobody on. Carlos Gonzalez, a line out to third, a strikeout, and a ground ball to first. He's 0 for 3. Nothing Rockies. Yankees led 4-0 late. 9th inning, I believe. Minnesota ends up beating the Yankees in the Bronx 5-4 and 10. Minnesota has had their issues with the Yankees. Not tonight, though. Big swing. No baseball. 1-2.
Well, Baker yesterday for the Twins gave up a 4 spot early on and then settled down a little bit. Lost 14 out of the last 15 at Yankee Stadium.
One and two. Windshield hurt? Call Safelite Auto Glass at 303-287-5000. Go to safelight.com. 4, 5, and 6 for the Dodgers in the 9th inning. 2-2 on Cargo.
His plate coverage still amazes me for a young hitter. Still able to reach those balls that are away from him and foul them off or drive them the opposite way. Even for a guy that stands off the plate as much as he does.
to the 86-mile-an-hour changeup. Gonzalez saw it the whole way, so it's out full. Tulowitzki hoping to get another AB. Ball 4. He will. A strong at bat by Gonzalez.
After falling behind, able to foul off a few pitches and to take the last 2 and take the walk.
Yeah, they're big because the ramifications sometimes they have on the next day. Hawksworth has thrown 15 pitches. Depending on what happens here, you may push him 20+ pitches, which puts him on the bubble for the following day.
Especially with the day game, the shorter turnaround time. And those are the little things that wear on a team and on a pitching staff in a series. Now, with the 2-game series, might be a little bit different. Still early in the season. They were off yesterday. Their day off then on Thursday. But come May, June, July, when you don't have those off days, definitely will hurt you.
And it depends on who it is. For instance, if it's Hung-Chi Kuo out there and he throws 20 pitches, you won't see him the next day.
Done. He's not throwing.
Not with his history of elbow issues.
I'm just thinking right now, okay, he's thrown over there a couple times. If Carlos does try to steal this base and does make it, then I think what they would do then would walk Troy, even though it's burned him once to get to Lopez tonight.
I still think it's a good running situation.
Well, obviously, the Dodgers think so, too.
And you can say, well, with Tulowitzki, you're in scoring position at first base, the way Cargo runs, he hits one in the gap. But why not force the issue? You know, second base is a whole lot closer to the plate than first.
Well, the other thing, too, is it forces Don Mattingly to make a decision. What does he want to do?
High fly ball to left field. He just missed this one. And Tony Gwynn makes the catch. Tulowitzki was all over it, bidding for his second home run of the night. 3-0. We'll go to the 9th. Rockies will try to close it out. Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. New Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. Rockies, top of the 9th inning, 3 outs from moving to 2-1 on the young season. And coming up after the ball game, guaranteed. The Toyota postgame report with that man, Tom Helmer. Tom?
You betcha. And I just can't bring myself to sing Baby by Justin Bieber. I know our producer Allison wants me to, but Troy Tulowitzki changed his at-bat song tonight. Good for a home run. We'll talk more about Tulowitzki. Also, it's not Chassin, it's Machine. He was great against the Dodgers tonight. We'll break down his performance. And those of you that have been texting in the 6th inning, keep the text coming in the post-game show. We want to hear more about what you think your top 5 first basemen are. George Frazier's #1 of Todd Helton. Great job tonight, scooping some hits out of the dirt and keeping the Dodgers in check. We'll have that, plus we'll get you into the clubhouse. It's all coming up on the Toyota post-game show. Drew?
Tom, nice job as always. Don't forget, as Tom said, Toyota Talk will continue during the entire post-game show, so keep texting in your comments. Houston Street looking for outs, 25, 26, and 27. Matt Kemp will be first. 0 for 3 tonight. Yolis Chassin, 7 shutout innings this evening, out dueling one of the top young pitchers in the game, Clayton Kershaw.
And Houston's bidding for his second save in 2 opportunities. And so far on the season, the Rockies bullpen has been stellar. 9 2/3 innings, just 2 earned runs, a ERA at 1.86.
One 1-0 on Kemp. At the knees for a strike. Houston's dad, James, was in over the weekend. One of the storied athletes in the history of the University of Texas. Great quarterback and a tremendous pitcher also.
Yeah, ran into him after the game on Saturday night. He was still fired up. He was talking baseball. He knows his baseball. Don't think just because he's a football star. I know he said he played, but he understands the game.
And taught Houston. Taught him well. Here's the 2-1. Pop fly, right field, long run, Spilborghs. He's going to get over there near the line. Good job by Ryan. Really chopped his feet a little bit, Huey, near the end.
Slow down. Make sure that head's not bouncing too much, but more importantly, get that first out in the 9th inning.
James Loney will be coming up. A reminder on how to text. We keep telling you to text Tom. Text during the 6th inning. Text in the post-game report on Toyota Talk. The way you do it is text Toyota, followed by a space, and then your thoughts on a first baseman in the last 30 years. 720-720. James Loney is 1 for 3 tonight. Big swing from Loney, fouls it straight back. Well, James Street has 5 sons, and several of them played college baseball. His son who played at Pepperdine for a while. Oh, 2.
He was just fired up, telling me how Houston needs to hit the outside corner, have confidence in that fastball, the slider working away. He was getting me fired up after the game.
Yeah, he's a real upbeat personality. He's still in great shape. Here's the 0-2. And it's fouled off, out of play. James played for the Boulder Collegians. Baldy Muschietti. Of course, George played for the Boulder Collegians. A lot of tremendous players played for the old Boulder Collegians.
Joe Madden.
Joe Madden
played for the Collegian.
Another 2-strike pitch. He's got him. Went with that changeup. He uses that quite a bit on lefties. And Loney is the second out.
He was able to use that changeup because he was ahead in the count 0-2. Went away, and up, and now he just buries it off the 4th strike zone. Loney thought he might have tipped that one a little bit. He was arguing hard for it. He didn't get it. Chris with the pick shows him. You got to tag him. There he goes.
Juan Uribe 0 for 3. In the air down the right field line, and this one is going to drop in foul ground. Sprint work for Spilborghs. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Colorado Rockies. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Colorado Rockies. The 0-1. And a little comebacker. What a complete performance by the Rockies tonight. A 1-2-3 save for Houston Street. A gorgeous performance by Yolis Chassin in his 2011 debut. 7 shutout innings. And the Rockies beat Clayton Kershaw. 3-0 final. Job well done all around. Jimmy John's delivery of the game, brought to you by Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich delivery guys. And it's the work of the 23-year-old from Maracaibo in Venezuela. He had 4 punch-outs, and he had the Dodgers off balance through most of the evening. Dealt with a little bit of early traffic, but he got the big outs. 7 innings of shutout baseball. Tulowitzki a home run, Iannetta a home run. It will be a happy Toyota postgame report, and it is up next from right here at 20th and Blake. The Rock